today's hot topic, and it is a hot one, as in everybody in Iredell County is very mad.
They are pissed.
Yes, they are. And we're talking about taxes. You've probably seen the chatter on social media.
I mean, I have a friend, we'll call her a friend, mortgage lender in the area, and she's having some chatter, large chatter
Yeah.
around the taxes.
Yeah.
People aren't able to get their houses that they were under contract for because the new tax evaluations.
Yeah. So let's talk about why that is. I think first.
Yeah, I don't know. So she told me. I'm like, oh yeah, well that's true.
So in Iredell County and a lot of surrounding counties in North Carolina, new tax values have been sent out. They've finally been mailed out. So the property values are reassessed by the county tax assessor. And
Do we know who that person is? Is it one person?
there's a lot of appraisers, but the tax assessor's office has sent out the new values, and people are mad because the values went up, up, up.
And here's a question that old dumb people like me don't know. Isn't that good? Isn't the tax value of your house going up? Isn't that usually a good thing? Like the value's more. Your house is worth more.
Well, yes and no. I mean, yes, because the tax value is typically you can sell your house for more than the tax value. That's kind of how it generally works. But also you're paying more in taxes as a result. Now, these reassessments are really a function of what happened in the market over the last couple of years. You know, a property that was selling for $150,000 is now like close to $300,000, just a few years later. So when the local government is seeing the sale prices on homes that were formerly assessed much lower continue to creep up, 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 the market is showing the government that the value of that piece of property is higher than it was several years ago. And property taxes are really the highest source of income for the local government. Mm-hmm. So they're, wanting to make sure that they have enough income.
So I think the highest we've heard is like 71% increase. I'm sure there's more. That's the highest we've heard. On average, it's been like 40 to 60% increase. So do you know how much more money on average, or just some general estimations of like how much more money somebody would be paying in their taxes per year? Like just, hey, I've seen these kind of general ballpark.
I think of an example that we've got going on in closing right now. It's $2,000 more a year.
$2,000 more.
Yeah. But one thing that a lot of people are not noticing is that assessed value is effective January 1 of the year. So we're going to have some upset sellers, especially the ones that are under contract right now, or that, will go under contract this year thinking that they're going to prorate based on last year's tax bill or last year's value. They're like, well, I'm selling it in 2023. I shouldn't have to pay the 2023 value. Tax is going to be prorated between the seller and buyer on a calendar year basis, and that's according to the North Carolina general statutes and also the standard offer to purchase in North Carolina. So we're in this weird limbo period of, we know your taxes are going up, but what we only have certain pieces of the puzzle. We have the new value and the old rates. So you got to figure out you have to do the best estimate that you can of the taxes using new value and old rates until the new rates are established. And, like sellers don't understand that. They're like, well, I shouldn't have to pay anything more than what I paid last year. Well, if you didn't sell the property, you were going to have to pay the whole tax bill anyway. So you're going to pay your proportionate share of the estimated taxes. So we're really looking forward to that.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be terrible. So another thing I want to talk about is getting a loan or your escrow. So this is anybody who has their taxes escrowed, your payments are about to go up a lot. So if your taxes went up $2,400 in a year,
$200 more a month.
$200 more a month that you're going to have to pay.
I can do that math.
Yeah. So that's a lot.
Simple, even enough for me.
Simple enough for you. Now also think about if you haven't bought the house yet, lenders use debt to income and what monthly payment can you afford, and your monthly payment in almost all scenarios includes your taxes and insurance, unless you get an escrow waiver, but they're still going to be looking at the things that you have to pay in your debt to income. So if you are under contract for a house that, it was $3,000 a year for taxes and your monthly payment was a certain amount, and now the taxes are, $4,500 or $5,000, and it's going to increase your payment a couple $100 a month, well, that might throw your ratios out of whack, and
Yeah.
you no longer qualify to buy the house.
And you might have been backed right up to, I can qualify for $2,000 a month. Now I pay $2,400 more a year, which is now $2,200 a month payments, and I can't qualify now.
Now, the other thing is people are wanting to know how to appeal. Our office doesn't handle that. There may be local attorneys that do, they can do a Google search and see if somebody handles that. But there's also, you can go to your local government, and whoever is issuing the new assessment also is going to tell you how to appeal. So there's a process that you have to follow, forms you have to submit, documentation that you have to come up with. So like for Iredell County, you can go on their website and find the appeals process if you're interested. Now, keeping in mind that if you're trying to sell your property, it's interesting to say your property is worth less, but then also try to tell buyers it's worth more.
Interesting times we are living in.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us on another episode of the North Carolina Real Estate Show. Hopefully you got a little more knowledge in your arsenal for how to deal with the tax increase or how your taxes might be prorated in 2023 in one of the counties that is being reassessed. But in the meantime, just we'll catch you in the next episode that you might be joining us in. We'll see.
We'll see.
Thanks.